It's not possible. I didn't say it would be easy, Neo.
Okay, there it is.
Oh,
Good morning.
good morning. How you doing?
We're the Committee on Parole. My name is Jerry Ledoux. To my left, Carolyn Stapleton. To my right, Pete Freeman. We're impaneled in Baton Rouge at headquarters. I believe your name is Arrigo Maiden, DOC 506917. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Staff there, introduce yourself and at Madison.
Warden Brooks and Deputy Byron Williams.
Great, thank you so much. Before we get started, Mr. Maiden, do you have a piece of paper in front of you that shows you answered the questions that you do not have a mental illness, you can read and write, you understand the charges? Do you have a piece of paper like that in front of you?
No, ma'am.
We're gonna flash that on the screen. I want to verify that that is your signature, so that. Do you see that? Is that your signature, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, with the answers you provided on that, you're not eligible for appointed counsel. Okay. Today, you are before us due to a revocation, a parole violation. Get to that. Sir, you're currently serving a sentence for contributing to the delinquency of juveniles. And you are you're a 7th class offender.
Yes,
Sir, you have been charged with violating conditions 3, 4, 10, and 13. I'm going to read those to you, and then I would like for you to give me a vote of guilty, guilty with a statement, not guilty, or not guilty with a statement. You don't have to provide the statement until we request that, okay?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So okay. So violation number 3, you were to live at the address that you got that was approved through your parole officer, and you were not to leave the state of Louisiana. There is evidence that says that you've been spending nights at your girlfriend's house in Winsboro, and your sex offender special conditions specifically prohibit this behavior. How do you plead to that?
Not guilty with a statement.
Okay, get to that later. Number 4, it says you will not engage in criminal activity nor associate with people who are known for criminal activity, and you'll avoid bars and casinos and refrain from the illegal use of drugs and alcohol. You tested positive for both marijuana and meth while on supervision at the Tallulah District Office, January 23rd, 2024. So based on consistency with the test results, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay. Number 10, you'll pay supervision fees, and you've never made a payment since your release in July of 2023, and you're $380 in arrears. How do you plead to that?
Plead guilty with a statement.
Number 13, you have sex offender special conditions. You are not allowed to have unsupervised conduct with children, and you were in contact with Charlotte Hooker's children, ages 8 and 4, at her residence. and she admitted that you did spend the night while her children were home. How do you plead to that violation?
Not guilty with a statement.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to ask Mr. Freeman to ask you some questions.
Okay, Mr. Megan, how long you been in on, this violation? 3 months? How long you been in jail?
Yes, sir. Going on 3.5 months. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this question. I want you to think about it very, very hard before you give me an answer. You're saying you didn't stay over there overnight, correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, why would your girlfriend say you did stay over there? And at first you admitted that you did stay there after school when the kids were home.
So I never
Why
told
would you say you stayed there if you didn't stay there?
I never told him that, sir. I told him that I go over to her house once I leave my address where I live at in the morning time. I wasn't even talking to my parole officer, sir. I was talking to another parole officer, and when he come in, he come in on the conversation late, and he was like, "Oh, so you stay with your girl?" I'm like, "No, sir, I don't stay with her." You asked me, "What do I do? What are my plans when I get up every day?" And I was telling the other parole officer that I get up around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I see what my mama need me to do. You know, I help her around the house. Then I leave the house and go to my girl house. But I never told him I stayed there, sir. Like I say, you know, I've been dealing with this sex offender parole since like 2006. And I never stayed with nowhere that I never supposed to been stayed at because I knew that it would lead me back to jail.
Okay, so you saying you didn't stay there. So you saying your girlfriend lied when
No,
she
sir,
said, no, don't. This is her statement. She lives at 2003 Wimby Street with her children. I spoke with the girlfriend who advised she lives there. She's also advised that he does spend nights at her residence when her kids are present. So that was not a true statement.
No, sir.
So she just dreamed you were sleeping there.
No,
The
sir.
truth set you free, man.
I understand what you're saying, sir, but I know that I wasn't staying there, you know.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna move on. All right. What about the drug test? You said you did test positive for meth and marijuana.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You getting any help for that? Have you tried to get any help for it?
At the time I didn't, sir, but I would like some help for it, you know, because like I said, I came home and I got on the wrong path, hanging around people that I thought was my friends that wasn't, and it led me to doing drugs, doing something that I knew I supposed not to been doing. And, you know, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna tell you I'm wrong. If I'm right, I tell you I'm right and I'm wrong, sir.
All right. And were you working?
I had a job and I was working at a catfish plant, but I ended up losing my job, sir.
Okay. How did you lose your job, buddy?
Me and another coworker had a misunderstanding, and by them, I was working around people that was already incarcerated in jail, and by me having a misunderstanding with another man that I was having problems with in jail that was working there, they ended up letting me go.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Ms. Stapleton, do you have any questions?
I have no questions. Mr. Freeman covered everything I would have asked.
Okay, so do you have the statements that you would like to make? You pled not guilty with the statement to both the first and the last violation. Tell me what your statement is.
I plead not guilty to the not paying, you know, like I say, I was too busy chasing drugs. The reason that I didn't pay, and I know that there's no excuse for it because I'm a grown man, and I'm just asking, you know, if y'all can find it in y'all heart to give me another chance to go home and do the right thing, because I have some people that's willing to help me now. You know, I have my mother on here who was a witness that can tell you that I was staying at home, and she's gonna help me, and my sisters, and my father came back into my life and he's willing to help me keep it paid until I find me a job to take care of my business as a man.
Okay, so we do have your mother, who is in support. She would like to speak. Hello, your name is Miss Christella Thomas, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, and you are the offender's mother, correct?
Yes.
Okay, we'd be happy to listen to your statement in support.
Yes. In regards of him living, yes, he lives here at 2908 at my address. He has never stayed anywhere else. And I have never spoke on his behalf because I believe in when he's wrong, he needs to do what he got to do to correct his wrong behavior. And I mean, I never, out of all these years he's gotten in trouble, his PO them would tell you, I have never held him up in his wrongdoing, and I would never hold him up in his wrongdoing because all I want him to do is be the man that God designed him to be and not to be out here on drugs or doing anything that's illegal. Just do the right thing. But as far as him living with someone else, that didn't happen. And Miss Charlotte, she was trying to get in, but she called in on the Zoom line too late to get connected. And I didn't know if I could have given her the number to log in with everyone else without her speaking to the young man that I spoke with. So.
Well, we appreciate you being willing and able to visit with us today. So we have reviewed your parole violations, listened to your statement, and I think at this time we would be prepared to vote. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, do you want to make any further statement before we vote?
Yes, I would like to say this too, sir. I was out 6 months, and every time that my parole officer seen me, he seen me at my address. And the last time that he come to see me was in January, the beginning of January, and I had left the house. And once he got in touch with me, I told him that I can come back. He told me, no, I will come where you was at. So I let him know where I was, and he came to me, and he was like, I'm gonna put an ankle bracelet on you to see what do you have going on. I was like, sir, I don't have no problem with that. And he was telling me the next week to meet him in Tallulah at the probation and parole office to get the ankle bracelet. And that's what I had came to Tallulah for, to get the ankle bracelet put on me. And the man put the ankle bracelet on me, and then he come out with these accusations that I was staying somewhere else. I felt like if you feel like I wasn't staying at my address, then you would have locked me up when you seen me, sir. You see when you came to see me, instead of having me to come to Tallulah to get an ankle bracelet put on me. Like I told him, I don't have no problem with wearing an ankle bracelet, I still don't have a problem with it, or getting some help. I don't have no problem with none of that, because I've been doing this jail time all my life, sir, and it's not helping me. I feel like, I know I can do better and I deserve better, that's all I got to say, sir.
Okay, all right, I'll vote first since I did your case. Maiden, I'm sorry, I don't feel it. I think you are around those kids, and you pled guilty to using drugs. You know the rules, so my vote today is to revoke.
Stapleton.
I agree with Mr. Freeman for the very same reasons.
You had 4 violations and you pled guilty to 2 of them. My vote today is to revoke your parole. And I do hope that you get a chance to take some classes and do better this next time around. Okay. So today your parole has been revoked. And that concludes our hearing there at the Madison Parish Jail. The time is now 10 o'clock.